in the heart of the American Southwest, a nightmare has unfolded. Imagine a picturesque mountain retreat, a place where families make cherished memories, suddenly transformed into a raging torrent. This is a scene from a disaster movie. This is a horrifying reality that gripped Ruidoso, New Mexico. In a tragic turn of events, a community still reeling from devastating wildfires found itself battling another deadly force of nature, a flash flood that claimed innocent lives and left an indelible scar. This isn't just news, it's a stark warning. How could a beautiful resort town be swallowed so quickly? And what can you do to protect yourself and your loved ones when the unthinkable happens, and a flash flood turns your world upside down in a matter of minutes? Stay with us as we delve into the heart of this tragedy, explore the science behind these deadly deluges, and arm you with life-saving knowledge. The unthinkable nightmare, Ruidoso drowns. Ruidoso, a charming town nestled in the mountains of New Mexico, was once a haven for tourists and a beloved home for its residents. But on a fateful day, this idyllic setting turned into a scene of unimaginable horror. Historic flash floods, unlike anything seen before, ravaged community, leaving behind a trail of destruction and heartbreak. The unthinkable happened. Lives were lost, including those of innocent children, caught in the merciless grip of the raging waters. The numbers are stark and tragic. At least 9 people perished, among them a 4-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. These were not just statistics. These were lives, brimming with potential, extinguished by the relentless force of nature. River of Rage, records shattered. The National Weather Service painted a grim picture, confirming the unprecedented scale of the disaster. The river, once a gentle stream, swelled into a monstrous entity, cresting at a record-breaking 20.24 feet. To put this into perspective, the previous record, set just last year, was a mere 15.86 feet. This wasn't just a slight increase. It was a catastrophic surge, a testament to the sheer volume of water unleashed upon the community. Imagine a river rising by nearly 5 feet in a single year, a clear indicator of the escalating intensity of extreme weather events. This record-shattering event wasn't an isolated incident. It was a terrifying culmination of factors, some natural, some exacerbated by prior disasters. And it highlights a concerning trend that is becoming increasingly prevalent across various regions. The fire's lingering scars, a recipe for disaster. To understand the full extent of Ruidoso's tragedy, we must look back to the previous year. The community had already endured a devastating blow from the South Fork fire, which ignited on June 17, 2024. This inferno, a true beast, scorched more than 17,000 acres, leaving behind a landscape of ash and desolation. While wildfires are a natural part of many ecosystems, the intensity of this particular fire played a crucial role in the subsequent flooding. This phenomenon, known as post-wildfire flooding, is a growing concern in regions prone to both wildfires and heavy rainfall. And this wasn't Ruidoso's first encounter with flooding. The community experienced significant flooding just last year, a grim precursor to the catastrophe that would follow. It's a cruel irony that the very land ravaged by fire became a conduit for an even deadlier threat. A nation underwater, a spreading crisis. The tragedy in Ruidoso is not an isolated incident. Recent flash flooding events across the United States highlight a disturbing trend and underscore the extreme dangers these raging torrents can bring to communities in a matter of minutes. Just a few days prior to the Ruidoso disaster, Central Texas was reeling from catastrophic flash floods on July 4th. The death toll there has tragically risen to at least 120, with countless more still missing. This horrifying number serves as a stark reminder of the immense human cost of these events. In North Carolina, flash floods claimed at least 5 lives, and in other parts of New Mexico, 9 people perished. These seemingly disparate events are interconnected, pointing to a broader pattern of increased extreme weather events. While it's difficult to attribute any single event solely to climate change, the scientific consensus is clear. A warming planet is leading to more intense rainfall events in many regions. Warmer air holds more moisture, and when that moisture is released, it can result in deluges that overwhelm drainage systems and transform landscapes into raging rivers. The frequency and intensity of these floods are placing immense strain on infrastructure and emergency services. leaving communities vulnerable and struggling to cope. The unseen enemy: why flash floods are so hard to combat. The question that echoes in the aftermath of such devastation is, why are flash floods so incredibly difficult to combat? The answer lies in a confluence of factors, each contributing to the unique challenges these events present. Firstly, speed and unpredictability are the hallmarks of a flash flood. Unlike riverine floods that develop over days or weeks, allowing for some level of preparedness and evacuation, flash floods can materialize within minutes or hours. Heavy rainfall over a localized area, often intensified by thunderstorms, rapidly overwhelms drainage systems and turns dry stream beds into raging rivers. The National Weather Service defines a flash flood as occurring within 6 hours of heavy rainfall, but in many cases, the onset is far more rapid. This suddenness leaves little to no time for effective warnings, evacuations, or defensive measures. People are often caught unawares, trapped in their homes, vehicles, or even out in the open, with no opportunity to seek higher ground or escape the escalating danger. The element of surprise is a critical advantage for the floodwaters. Secondly, the immense force and destructive power of flash floodwaters are often underestimated. Water, when moving with speed and volume, possesses incredible kinetic energy. Just 6 inches of fast-moving water can knock an adult off their feet, and 12 inches can sweep away most cars. 2 feet of rushing water can carry away trucks and SUVs. The water isn't just pure liquid. It's often a churning, viscous soup of debris, including trees, rocks, vehicles, and even structures. This makes it incredibly dangerous to navigate or even stand in, as the force can easily crush and dismember. The debris acts like battering rams, tearing through homes, bridges, and infrastructure with terrifying efficiency. The structural integrity of buildings, even though seemingly robust, can be compromised rapidly, leading to widespread collapse and further trapping individuals. Thirdly, topography and land use play a critical role in exacerbating flash flood risk. Steep terrain, such as that found in mountainous regions like Ruidoso, accelerates the flow of water, increasing velocity and destructive potential. Canyons and narrow valleys act as funnels, concentrating the water into a powerful torrent. Furthermore, urbanization and impervious surfaces, roads, parking lots, buildings, prevent rainwater from being absorbed into the ground. Instead, it runs off rapidly, overloading storm drains and natural waterways, contributing to faster and more severe flooding. The destruction of natural vegetation, particularly through wildfires, as seen in Ruidoso, further compounds this problem by making the soil hydrophobic and accelerating runoff, turning the land into a conveyor belt for floodwaters. A recent study by the U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, found that post-wildfire areas can experience peak stream flows that are 10 to 100 times higher than pre-fire conditions, even with the same amount of rainfall. Fourthly, human behavior and a lack of awareness often contribute to high casualty rates. Despite numerous public awareness campaigns, many people still underestimate the dangers of flash floods. Driving or walking through flooded areas, even seemingly shallow ones, is incredibly risky. The road underneath could be washed away, or the vehicle could be swept downstream. Many fatalities occur when individuals attempt to drive through flooded roadways. The turn around, don't drown message, though widely disseminated, is often ignored in moments of panic or misjudgment. Furthermore, a lack of understanding regarding warning signs, such as rapidly rising water levels in seemingly dry creek beds, sudden changes in water clarity, or the sound of rushing water upstream, can lead to delayed responses and increased vulnerability. A survey by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, revealed that nearly 60% of flood-related fatalities occur in vehicles. Finally, the challenges in forecasting and warning dissemination for flash floods are immense. While advancements in meteorological technology have improved rainfall prediction, pinpointing the exact location and intensity of flash flood events remains incredibly difficult due to their localized nature and rapid development. Radar systems can detect heavy rainfall, but translating that into precise flood warning for specific microclimates is a complex task. Even with accurate warnings, the speed of onset can make effective dissemination to vulnerable populations challenging, particularly in remote areas or during nighttime hours when people are asleep. The alert fatigue phenomenon, where frequent warnings desensitize the public, can also lead to a dangerous lack of response when a truly imminent threat emerges. Surviving the surge, a lifeline in the face of disaster. Given the inherent difficulties in combating flash floods, the focus shifts to preparedness and survival. Understanding how to react when confronted by this terrifying force can mean the difference between life and death. Before the flood, proactive preparedness. Know your risk. Understand your home or work is in a flood-prone area. Consult flood maps provided by FEMA or local emergency management agencies. If you live in a burn scar area, recognize the heightened risk of flash floods. Emergency plan. Develop a family emergency plan. This should include designated meeting points, communication strategies, in case cell service is down, and contact information for emergency services and out-of-state contacts. Practice this plan regularly. Emergency kit. Assemble a disaster kit with at least 3 days' supply of water, 1 gallon per person per day. Non-perishable food, a battery-powered or hand-crank radio, flashlight, extra batteries, a first aid kit, whistle, dust mask, moist towelettes, garbage bags, plastic ties, wrench or pliers to turn off utilities, can opener, local maps, and copies of important documents. Stay informed. Invest in a NOAA weather radio with a tone alert to receive emergency warnings. Pay attention to local weather forecasts, especially during periods of heavy rain. Evacuation routes. Identify multiple evacuation routes from your home and workplace to higher ground. Practice these routes. Insurance. Consider flood insurance. Standard homeowners insurance policies typically do not cover flood damage. Home protection. If possible, take steps to protect your home from flooding. This might include elevating utilities, installing backflow valves, or grading your yard away from the house. During the flood, immediate action. Move to higher ground immediately. This is the single most important action. If you are in a low-lying area, a basement, or near a river or creek, do not wait for official evacuation orders. Seek the highest ground possible as quickly and safely as you can. Even a few feet can make a difference. Do not drive or walk through floodwaters. Turn around, don't drown is not just a slogan. It's a life-saving directive. As discussed, even shallow water can be incredibly dangerous. Hidden hazards like submerged power lines, washed-out roads, or strong currents can lead to tragic consequences. If your vehicle stalls in floodwaters, abandon it immediately and seek higher ground if safe to do so. Stay out of moving water. If caught in moving water, try to grab onto something stable and wait for rescue. Do not attempt to swim against the current. The tragedy in Ruidoso is a devastating reminder that while we cannot prevent natural disasters, we can significantly reduce their impact through proactive measures, community preparedness, and a deeper understanding of the forces at play. The memory of those lost in the deadly flash flood sinking New Mexico resort town must serve as a catalyst for action, ensuring that no other community faces such an unimaginable reckoning unprepared. The fight against the unseen, unstoppable force of flash floods is ongoing, and it demands our collective attention and resolve.